Hi, welcome to my page. If you are new, welcome. If you are coming back, welcome back. I'm glad to have you. And this week's Self-Care Saturday Talk, we are going to talk about my results for my winter arc goals. And if you have not been to my page before, my name is Cassie, and I talk a lot about different self-care and self-love things that will help change your life and help you become the best version of you. So this week we are going to talk about my results and learn some different things that I have learned about my hormones. And if you're struggling to lose weight, this may be really helpful for you. And I just want to make a disclaimer that I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just sharing my experience and hoping to maybe help someone else if they're having the same problems that I have. So I do have my notebook here with some notes. So I will be looking down to make sure that I am incorporating all the information and that I don't forget to mention anything, and also to help me stay organized with my thoughts. So, I just wanted to kind of give you a little background information on how I have basically struggled with weight loss most of my life, right? And never really realized what the problem could be. I've gone to the doctors, I've done numerous of different things, and I've just kind of been hitting walls for many years on different things. Now, I have had some successes, so I want to share a success that I did have, and that was when I was getting ready to get married. Now, I had a goal. I bought a dress, from a discount store that was going out of business. I fell in love with this dress, but this dress did not fit me. It was a few sizes too small, too small for me at that point. So there was a mission involved, but I'm glad that my body, did work. My body worked with me at this point. So at this point, the goal was to fit into the dress, and in order to fit into the dress, I had to lose about 35 pounds. Now, how I did this was I was working out to Beachbody exercises, and I was mostly using Shaun T's workouts and doing Insanity, and then once the Insanity Max 30 came out, I was doing that as well. So those were the two main things that I used to get the results. So I did that, and then I also ate according to the plan that they gave me for whatever workout that I was doing, on top of making sure that I was drinking 120 ounces a day of water. I was so fixated on my results at this point that I did not go off track. Even after the wedding, I did not go off track for about 2.5 years. I stayed really good. I didn't eat out. Even when I went to a family member's house, I would bring my own food because I was just really so excited that I finally got the results that I've been dying to get, and I didn't want to ruin them. And I knew that sometimes when I would go on, cheat meals or whatever, that would spiral me out of control. So I didn't want nothing to do with the cheat meal, didn't want nothing to do with anything that I didn't make or that I wasn't used to eating, because I knew this stuff worked, right? It worked. I was getting the results, and that was what was important. Now, mind you, life happened, and I started emotionally eating and gained all my weight back and some. But that was just because, like I said, I was emotionally eating, and now ever since then, it's been a roller coaster of a ride of trying to get the results of losing weight, being able to stay consistent and all that good stuff. Because sometimes, the hardest part is getting the results. And when you're not getting the results, it's really hard to continue going. So let's talk about some things that I've learned in my winter arc trials here. So the winter arc, just in case you didn't know, goes from October to December and is about 12 weeks long. So with that, the first 5 weeks, I was really just so fixated on being able to eat more calories, right? Because everybody's like, oh my God, you eat more calories, you have more energy, you feel this, you feel that, da 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 da. So I was eating what would have been my maintenance calories, right? Which is the 1,530 calories a day. That used to be my maintenance calories. And let me just tell you, that is still my maintenance calories, okay? So because for the 5 weeks eating those amount of calories, I was losing and gaining the same pound over and over. It was just boom, 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 back and forth. So, and basically the times that I would lose the pound is like when some days I would eat less food and then the next day I would, see that. So the 1530 is definitely my maintenance calories. And even though, because some people may say, well, you may have lost inches, but I wasn't even like losing that neither. It just really, I lost a few, but for the amount of work that I was putting it in and stuff, it just didn't feel like it was all worth it in the end, to be honest. So for 5 weeks, tried a few other things. Then finally, I found a video that came across that talked about when women are insulin resistant and if they have some hormonal imbalances. So I was really interested in receiving more information on that to see if that was something that I could use to help me, because back in, my younger days when I was going to the doctors and trying to figure out what was the problem, the dermatologist would tell me that it was a hormonal issue and that's why my acne, it was hormonal acne. But I couldn't really figure out what the problem was because every time that my blood was taken, my blood work would come back as good. So it was just a roller coaster of a ride to try to figure out what hormone was out of balance. And so it's basically the insulin resistance causing my hormones to be out of balance. So in order to control my insulin and get my hormones in check, I had to start eating in a low carb way, because if not, what was happening was I was eating, higher carbs or whatnot, or I would say even sometimes normal carbs, but for an insulin resistant person, normal's too high. So what was happening was that my body was keeping me alive by storing the extra insulin as fat. And so that was causing me to have the hormonal belly. And it was also causing me to be a bit sleepy and not feel my best, and caused my skin to be out of control because my hormones were out of whack. So it just there's so many different things. Now, mind you, I did try the Atkins diet years ago, and I did have some success with that. But then there came out all this talk that it was not, healthy for women because of the hormones, and, it would mess with stop that. And ever since then, it's just been a roller coaster ride of what's going to work, what's not going to work, and so forth. So thankfully, I finally found just, recently, Dr. Mindy Pelz's YouTube page, and she is the author of Fasting Like a Girl. So she has done the research and found some scientific studies out there that support women fasting and women eating a ketogenic diet, right? So I feel that I found her page because she's really the only one that at least I've come across, right? That is really talking about it and giving you so much information on how you can fast and make sure that you're fasting according to around your cycle, so you don't get your hormones, more out of balance than what they may already be. So it was really helpful for me to understand and to see, okay, this is what I have to do to help get to my goals, right? Because when I first started this winter arc, I wanted to lose between 10 and 15 pounds by the end of the year. That was my goal. And even though that I didn't make my goal, I've learned a lot of information, and I'm very thankful for that. So we're gonna just continue with some of the things that I've learned and what is going to help me be successful in the future. And this may be, helpful for you as well. So Dr. Mindy's page has, given me the different ways to fast, and also has helped give different tips and things like that for me to balance my insulin levels. Now, I kind of talked about what I'm doing, right? Is I am eating a ketogenic diet mostly. Not really, I don't want to say ketogenic because it's not really ketogenic, because I think what a lot of people say about the keto is it's like higher fats, moderate protein and low carb. But I'm eating more of a higher protein, moderate fats, and low carb diet at this point. So I would say maybe I'm more on a low carb diet than the ketogenic diet per se. You could do your research and figure out what you would call what, but that's just what I am. So I am trying to keep my net carbs a day between 20 and 50 grams. And that's worked for me. It's helped keep my energy up. It's helped the bloat go down. It's helped my skin and different things like that, on top of, the fasting, because the eating alone wasn't doing it. So I had to incorporate these different fasts in order to really see the difference. And so we're going to talk about the different fasts that I've been doing and how they've been beneficial for me. Most people talk about fast as the intermittent fasting, which is the 16 hours of fasting and then having the 8 hour of the eating window. But even those fast wasn't really doing anything for me neither, because I've done these in the past, and I just feel like my body was kind of used to it, and it just wasn't that beneficial for me. So on Mindy's page, she mentioned some of these longer fasts to help with people who have been struggling with achieving their goals when it comes to weight loss and hormonal balance, and getting your body to start using your fat as fuel instead of it going to the sugar, as looking for the sugar as fuel. The longer fast that I've been doing that's been really beneficial for me is the 36-hour fast. And now you may say, oh, 36 hours, why is that so beneficial? Well, from the research that Mindy has done, this is what she says, and there's some studies that she shares as well on her page about these 36 hours and the benefits of it, shows that once you are starting to fast, right, and say that you're in that 36-hour window, your body doesn't start looking for those stored fat storages until it hits at least that 24-hour mark. So you don't want to just go on a 24-hour fast, because then you're basically your body's not able to get into those stored fat cells, or those stored fat storages, the fat, yeah. and use them as energy sources, right? So we want to use the old fat storages as a source of energy. So I want my body to go in there and start digging through that and start using it. So in order to do that, we have to start moving our fast over the 24-hour mark. So she found, and these studies support, that the magic is between the 24 and the 36 hours with that. So it's been great. I've been enjoying it. And what I usually do is I start it the night before. So I start the fast at night and then I end it in the morning. And so I'm able to eat, breakfast and different things like that. Now, there's different ways to break your fast. I'm not going to get into that today because there's just a lot of information out there, but there's just, she does recommend some different things to break your fast to not cause like your digestive system to go out of whack or to really be angry with you. So, if this resonates with you, check her page out, and she has all this information on there for you. The second longer fast that I like to use is the 20-hour fast, and the 20 plus hour fast, like between 20 and 24-hour fast, I like to use because when you are hitting that 20-hour mark of fasting, your body then promotes the autophagy to start, right? Sorry, I had to look at my notes for a minute. So your body promotes autophagy to start. And what is autophagy? Autophagy is something that happens when you have cellular damages and your body starts to go in and starts repairing it. So, but that doesn't happen until you get about the 20-hour fasting window or longer. So, I noticed some differences in some other like joint pains that I was having and things like that. So it's been really beneficial, and I think it's a great way to help you, help your body make the repairs that it needs to make that you may not know about. So, I wouldn't dismiss it, and because sometimes I definitely think that you're not going to be able to feel or know all of what it's fixing, right? Or you may, but it may take a while for you to even see a significant difference, to be like, oh, maybe that's what happened. If you're having some joint pain or whatever else that it could be. So these fasts have been, like I said, have been really good. Now, these are the only 2 longer fasts that I have done for weight loss purposes. So the 36 hours is also a good fast to help your body. Like I've kind of mentioned, but I want to be a little bit more clear with it, is when you hit that 36-hour fast, it doesn't just go into your fat storage to look for fat as your source of energy, but your body then just becomes more adaptable to become a fat burner instead of a sugar burner. So we want to be a fat burner instead of a sugar burner. So these 36 hours, especially if you've been like me and struggling to get a little bit of momentum here with your goals, these 36 hours has really helped me get there. Since I've been doing these different fasts and eating more of a low carb lifestyle, I'm down 7.3 pounds. So it's not as much as I originally planned, but like I said, I've learned a lot of information, and now that I know what I need to do to better equip me in my future. So it was still so worth the time and the effort that I've spent, because if I got the results, then it could have just been like a little Band-Aid for really what the problem is, instead of figuring out what some solutions to what the real problems that I've been having are. So this is not like a quick fix, right? Because if you do these things and you get to your goal and then you start to eat all of your carbs again and things like that, it's most likely going to affect you in a negative way. Weight loss, low energy levels, maybe your skin acting up again, whatever. So I'm treating this as a lifestyle change. This isn't something that I'm just going to do to get to my goals. This is just something that I'm going to have to do forever to make sure that I'm able to maintain where I feel good. And, some people feel best in different, with their bodies in a different way. And truthfully, I feel best when I am lean and taking care of myself. So the goal is for me to get lean again and to feel good about myself. So just know that if you are, having that hormone belly and you're having some low energies, and even I would suggest going out to Google and looking up some symptoms of the insulin resistant symptoms to see if maybe the symptoms that I mentioned isn't the symptoms that you're having, but it could still be a symptom that you are experiencing. So I would, go out there and look and see, because there was quite a bit of a list, I think like 10 to 15 different things. And I mentioned 3, my skin being a mess, my energy levels not being all that great, especially when I did eat carbs. And it was mostly like a dessert carb or, the white flour and things like that. So, those different things didn't do my body well and kind of got me out of control. But now that I know what I need to do, I am feeling very excited and more energetic of achieving my goals and not having it be such a roller coaster ride anymore. So I hope that this may have been beneficial for you to hear and could be helpful for you. So take care of yourself and never stop chasing your dreams. Bye.